I got all of those shots with this setup. She's a beast, and I want to tell you all about it. Welcome to the Let's Only channel. So recently I decided to spend some money to beef up my EOS R5 rig. It wasn't really an easy decision, honestly. Hold on, let me put this down. This thing is heavy. Oof. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to get used to holding that thing. Anyway, beefing up a hybrid camera rig was a tough decision because my options were investing in what I already have or taking all of that money and putting it towards maybe a cinema camera like a C70 or a C100 or C200. As of right now, I'm still a Canon boy. That might change. The X100V still has me like hooked on Fuji, so we'll see. We don't have to get into the details of the buying decision. If you want to check out that video, I'll put it up above my head here. Spoiler alert, I hate buying camera gear. But I digress. Today, I want to talk to you about my R5 camera rig, what I consider the cinema package for the R5. I want to share with you my experience about like why I bought it, how I feel about it. Do I really feel like it brought the camera to that next level? And whether or not you should do the same thing I did. And full disclaimer before we get started, I drew a lot of inspiration from Caleb over at DSLR Video Shooter. He has this great video about making like the ultimate mirrorless camera rig, and I took a lot of inspiration from that, so I'll link that down below as well. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into a little tabletop action and walk through everything that makes this rig a rig. So what is a rig? Well, my simple definition is that a rig is made up of a lot of different riggings, like cages, arms, monitors, etc., that all help customize and push your camera towards higher performance. And my very first piece of rigging is going to be actually my tripod mount. I'm using a Manfrotto fluid head mount, so this will act as kind of the base so that I can put my camera on the tripod or just simply take it off. Nice and easy. Next up is going to be my small rig R5 cage. This is what goes around the camera and allows me to attach all of the other pieces to my rig. After that is this Arca Swiss mount plate. This is what the R5 cage actually sits on. I like this setup because it actually gives me two different types of base plates. The Manfrotto is a totally different style than Arca Swiss, but a lot of tripods use different types of mounts. Pop it off, we're good to go. You'll also notice that underneath the Arca Swiss plate base is another base that has these cool little loops. This is actually to hold my 15mm rods. All you do is take these two 15mm rods, glide them through and lock them in place. These rods come in handy when you're mounting a battery or maybe when you're affixing something else to the camera. For example, wireless follow focus if you need that. Once we got all the base attachments, we're gonna add the wooden handle for an extra grip and this NATO rail top handle with another NATO rail attached for my monitor clamp. All right, we've got a lot going on here, but we're about to get to the really good part. You see, we've got a monitor and a camera that both need power. If I had to pop out a battery like every single time one was dying, I think I would like lose my mind and go crazy. It's clunky, it's big, you can't like maneuver it super well and things are popping out and you know, I was already complaining about holding it for like a 30-second intro. Think about when you're on set shooting for a long period of time. That's a no-go. So to solve for this problem, the solution is a V-mount battery. V-mount simply means the type of mount that the battery has and how it connects. For example, my aperture lights all have V-mount battery placement. So if I wanted to power them wirelessly or without an AC adapter, plug a battery in and you're good to go. There's a bunch of different types of mounts as well, so I'm just going with what I know I'd have so I could use these batteries like across the board as opposed to one single application. What's funny is the V-mount battery like in and of itself is about the size as my camera, so we're gonna need a way to attach it to kind of keep it out of the way, and that comes in the form of a V-mount battery plate. Once I slide the battery onto the plate, the next step is sliding the plate onto those rods we installed earlier. From here, we're gonna be able to power the camera with what they call a dummy battery, and we're gonna be able to power the monitor with the same type of battery. Also, here's a really quick note because this was really confusing to me. If you're building out a rig and you're looking up research on how to power things, you're gonna run into the term Dtap a lot. It took me a little bit to figure out like what exactly that meant, but ultimately it's just a way for power to connect to another power source. So for example, let me show you on the rig. This right here is a Dtap battery connector. It connects right here onto the mount. All you really have to do is simply plug it in, boom, And there we go. Now this battery will power this monitor. I'd say that's pretty easy. Now that we've gone through this insane setup process, all we need to do is press a few buttons and boom, you are shooting with your new camera rig setup. So we built the rig. We're feeling good, but if you're anything like me, you're gonna ask yourself, do I really need a rig? I mean, heck, Emma Watson's using one now, and she's cool. And if she's cool and she's using it, that must mean that if I use it, then I'm also cool. But look, regardless of what Emma Watson is doing, you've got to truly ask yourself, is this going to help you as a cinematographer and videographer? Honestly, if you're just shooting YouTube videos, like a majority of you don't need it. You don't need it. It's overkill. You really don't need to shoot 8K RAW in the comfort of your home. You're fine with shooting 4K log or a basic picture profile if you're just doing YouTube videos, or even if you're just doing like small studio setups. For me personally, I wanted a small run and gun solution that enabled me to push my R5 to its absolute peak and also allow me to kind of delve into that next level of video creation. I love making social content, it's really fun. But what I'm finding is that yes, while phones are great for TikTok or something like that, really professional video work just goes so far for brands who want to really make themselves stand out on social media. The pros for me are no overheating on the R5, smaller file sizes because my monitor can actually record as well, and a rig that really allows me to push my camera to its limits. I can really adapt and show up on set without feeling nervous about just having a hybrid camera. Oh, we need a wireless follow focus? Oh, we need a director's monitor? No problem, we can set these things up. Wireless transmitters, handles, whatever we need, we can really do it. And the cool thing about that is that it also keeps the price lower. Like if I were to buy a big cinema camera, the price just like keeps going up. But if I can keep my rig like relatively small like this, it still allows me to work with the type of people I want to work with and produce really killer content. So are you ready to pull trigger on a rig? Do you think it's overkill? Either way, let me know. I'm really curious to see what you think. Maybe rate my setup, you know? Don't be mean though, don't hurt my feelings. All right, I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling less lonely. I didn't do my intro. I'll get to that. But I really do feel less lonely being able to share with you my new setup. Like it's exciting and I want to show people who I feel like could get benefit from it. If you want to feel less lonely on your creative journey, then I'd recommend leaving a like, dropping a comment, and ultimately subscribing so we can be creative together and feel less lonely. All right, I didn't do my intro. Do you want me to do it really quick? Hold on. This is what I usually do to warm up. All right, ready? Here we go. Hey, what's going on? My name's Andrew, you can call me Pooch, and I'd like to welcome you to the Less Lonely channel. I'm really glad you're here. I had to get my intro in, right? All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.